Taurus, this is going to be your general reading for the month of September 2018. I hope you guys survived last month. Last month's reading for you seemed extremely important. And with all those retrogrades, I feel like it threw everybody off a little bit with trying to catch up with stuff. But now Mars is direct, Mercury is direct, and today Saturn is going direct. Saturn's been retrograde for about 4 or 5 months, I believe. And so, I don't know about you guys, but I definitely feel relief. I feel like things are starting to move forward a little bit easier. So I'm going to do an 11-card Celtic cross spread for you. And we'll see what comes up for September. Hopefully you guys are doing well. This is going to be for Taurus rising, Taurus sun, Taurus moon, in Taurus's best, highest good, along with whatever they most need to hear for September 2018. That eagle behind me is actually a kite. I kind of like it because the white string spool part almost looks from far away as if he's carrying a scroll, like a written message or something. I found it randomly about a week ago and I really love it. It looks very aerodynamic. And sometime this fall, once we get a super windy day, I think my daughter and I are going to try to fly it. Anything that they most need to hear about. This is in Taurus's best, highest good for September. Okay. I'm going to start picking the cards. And then after I pick the original 11, I'll show them all to you. And then I may pick clarifiers. It depends on what comes out. Okay. What is going on with you, Taurians? Still seems like such a huge cycle for you. But as far as cards go, this is looking really good so far. Okay. The Queen of Wands seems to be coming out for a lot of people. Okay, one more and then I'll show you. Okay. I'm definitely going to be picking a few clarifiers. This isn't as major as last month, but it's still along the same lines. You have 3 major arcanas in here, and they are the first 3 of the reading on the pillar of what's going on. So here they are. Ready? Excuse me. Okay. Your central experience for the month of September is death. I believe you got this last month. I forget exactly where, but it seems like this is still a process that's happening. Your encountering experience with that, or your challenge, is the Hierophant. What is helping you is Judgment. At your core or root of your being, you have the Two of Cups. Perhaps there's a lot going on with relationships as one possibility. Okay. The recent past, you have the Nine of Pentacles. As your best possible outcome, I will definitely be picking some cards to go with this. You have the Five of Swords. That one seems to be cropping up for people too. Your near future, you have the Eight of Cups. You right now, I'm glad to see this, you right now are the Queen of Wands. In your surroundings, you have the Nine of Wands. Your hopes or fears or both is the Six of Swords. And your general outcome is the Knight of Pentacles. Very good. I like this as your general outcome. Okay. Let me just take a look at it for a second. Okay. Your central experience for the month of September is about letting go. Letting go of an old cycle, letting go of something, whether it's a job, a relationship, a living situation, a way of thinking, a way of doing things. You know more than me on what needs to be released in your life. This seems like this is very hard for you to let go of. It makes sense. You are Taurians. You like to put all your energy and time into cultivating things so that things can grow. It's not easy for you to let go of things that you have cultivated for a long time. This definitely needs to be released and let go of. I'm definitely getting you've been grieving over this, or perhaps maybe the last or perhaps the most intense part of grieving has passed, but you're still grieving, or you're still working on letting go of this thing or this person or this situation. Let me pick a clarifier to go with this. Okay. Yes, you have to let go of your emotions concerning this. This may be a relationship with a person, if that rings true for you. This relationship that you had with this person was extremely deep, extremely genuine, and intense in a lot of ways. You got very enmeshed with this, or what's the word? You have put a lot of your emotional time and energy into this relationship or this person. And the reason why you did this for so long is because the relationship did feed you on a lot of different levels, especially emotionally. But there's a strong sense of loyalty here. There's a strong sense of being emotionally ingrained or enmeshed with this situation. And so it's the hardest thing for you to let go of has been your emotions and your devotion and loyalty towards this thing. This doesn't always have to be relationships, of course. This could be you're letting go of deep-seated emotions of something that you thought would always be there, or something that you counted on, But now that it's passing, it's very hard for you to let go of your feelings of loyalty and devotion to this situation. But I feel like you're definitely working on this. You're definitely, and if anything, it's saying it's a death of an old way of feeling too. It could be your feelings about yourself or something that surrounds you or something you've had going on for a long time. These emotions are holding you back now, or they're limiting you, where you're unable to continue to evolve or move on, or realize that your emotions can change. And so you're working on acknowledging what these emotions are and releasing them. You may be realizing that certain emotional patterns you have been holding you back significantly in your life, or making you feel possibly loyal to something that no longer serves you. And so you're continuing this process of grieving and letting go. I wonder why it's doing that. That's so strange. Technology is so strange. I'm definitely getting something about how you're battling with feelings of jealousy or resentment, or wanting to hold on to a situation that you have outgrown. And it's because you've poured so much emotional energy into this, it's almost as if you do let go of this, you won't know what to do with yourself emotionally, or you're not even sure how you feel anymore. Well, let me pull one more just out of curiosity. You're tired of being patient? You're tired of how slow things are going? You're tired of working all the time? You're tired of being everyone else's emotional support when you yourself need emotional support? Something. You're tired of being the person who holds everything together. You wish that other people could realize what you do. That almost feels like I've said that before. Perhaps for last month's reading there was something about that. It feels like you're still working on letting go of this feeling, so that you can so you can focus on yourself. Okay. Your countering experience or challenge is healing, and also listening to your own wise self within, or your own higher self. Perhaps even listening to wise people around you. There may be people around you that want to put their 2 cents in, or want to give you advice, or want to give you guidance on what you're going through, but I'm almost getting that it's hard for you to take that in right now. Or it's hard for you to know what your higher self is really trying to tell you about this whole thing. It feels like either way you go, it's painful. If you let go of the situation, it's painful. If you keep the situation, it's painful. It's painful all around. And so you do truly want to move on so that you can move forward from here, but there's something that feels like it's unresolved. Perhaps with yourself in general, or with other people. I'm getting something about part of the reason on why you've put so much time and energy and emotional energy into it was to be valued, or to have the end result of everything that you were working towards. But because the result hasn't been what you thought it would, all of a sudden you feel cheated, even though you yourself were the one that put yourself in that position, or that decided to be that devoted to this situation. I'm almost getting that you on some level you might be angry at yourself for allowing yourself to go down that road, because now that it hasn't worked out the way that you wanted, even though it hasn't or it isn't working out the way that you thought. All of a sudden you feel angry that you put all your time and effort into that, but there's no one really to blame for that. But really, challenges can be conquered, or challenges can be worked with. It's not like this is stopping you, it's just your challenge. So you may need to take some time out just to rest and maybe unload to somebody, or talk with somebody about what you're going through that you truly trust, to keep it to themselves, and also just to be there for you and be a good support. But I feel like there's something in here that you're having a hard time swallowing, or you're having a hard time letting go of, because it would have to involve changing the way that you think about things, or the things that have been your basic core values. Your basic core values are changing significantly, and so this is kind of throwing you for a loop in how do you let go of this, you know. Okay, let's move on. So what's helping you is judgment. Judgment is about assessing, major assessing. This isn't little decisions and assessing you're doing. This is major assessing of where you are in your life at this point. There are certain parts of your nature that may have been dormant for a long time, or that you thought may have actually died, that used to exist a long time ago. These could be hopes, dreams, wishes, things that you wanted for yourself in your life, or old talents that you used to have that you let lay dormant, or they almost were killed in order to continue down the path that you decided to. But now that that path is coming to a close, or is transforming, by the way, death doesn't necessarily mean that this whole situation is ending completely. It's really about transformation. If you're going to keep this situation in your life, it involves having to change. But this is about assessing where you're at, what's going on, and letting go of old, outmoded things that no longer serve you, that hold you back from your calling or what you feel is your purpose. And also, parts of you are awakening at this time and waking up from the dead. Of what you thought was impossible is now possible. Or perhaps you're realizing that you've been wrong this whole time by thinking that it was impossible when it is possible. In any case, this is definitely shaking a lot of things up for you, but it's a period of awakening where things are starting to make more sense, or things are coming together more on how to proceed from here, and what to illuminate and grow and go with, and what to let go of. Weeding, in other words. So this is what's helping you, is you're becoming more aware. You're awakening more to what is possible for you. And you're awakening to old wounds. In order for you to acknowledge them, in order for you to let these old wounds go, or to heal these old wounds so that you can follow this path. Okay. At your core, you have the Two of Cups. This situation may very well have to do with a relationship, in which case, one of the reasons on why, this is one possibility, you guys. I'm going to go into other possibilities too. One possibility is that this has to do with letting go of a relationship or transforming a relationship. But part of the reason on why this is hard for you to let go of, or why you're angry on a certain level to either have to transform this or let go of this relationship, is because you poured so much of your time and energy and emotional energy into it. And truly, you really do love this person. You really have had an intense relationship with this person that has been very close and intimate. And it feels very much like you guys are best friends, or you have become best friends over the years. I'm getting something specific in here for someone who's been in a very long-term relationship where either they have to let go of the relationship, possibly because of the other person has decided to let go of it, and so you have to let go of it, or it has to transform if it's going to continue. This doesn't necessarily mean you have to completely put your relationship to an end. You can keep this, for some of you, you can keep this relationship. It's just the old way of the relationship no longer works and a new way has to come into being. But I feel like you have poured a lot of time and energy into this, and you still honor this, and you still love this person, and you want to make it work on a lot of levels. And another way of looking at this, if this doesn't have to do with relationships, is that what you need right now is emotional support. And because you're going through such an intense time right now of transformation and healing and letting go and awakening to things you weren't aware of before, that's a lot of major stuff to be dealing with. And so you definitely want to surround yourself with your closest ties, or the people that you feel the most comfortable with. You don't want to waste your precious energy right now at this time on superficial connections or on connections that have problems. You definitely need emotional support right now through this process. And so you feel very drawn to your closest people that you trust, and to let the superficial things lay at rest for a little bit until you get through this major period. So please don't feel as though you need to do this on your own or you have to be isolated with this process. It's very important for you to surround yourself when you need support with the people that you truly honor the company of and that you feel safe and comfortable with. And if this does have to do with a relationship, and a relationship doesn't necessarily have to be a marriage or a romantic relationship, this could have to do with any type of relationship that is very deep and long lasting. This could be between yourself and a grown child of yours, or a dear best friend that you've had for decades, or some kind of alliance that you have poured a lot of your energy and time into. Somebody who matters a great deal to you. And that aside, it most definitely is about a healing journey and is about sifting through your own deep emotions. There may be some emotions you have that are very complex that you haven't really taken a close look at in a very long time. And now you're realizing that if you are going to continue in your life in a forward motion, you have to address these things. And also that goes as far as a partnership with yourself, to treat yourself well, to honor yourself, and realize on every level that you fully deserve help and support in this process. Okay? In your recent past, you have been working on yourself, especially things to do with self-reliance when it comes to money or prosperity or how you support yourself, or the generation of income, or just manifesting what you need for yourself without necessarily having to rely on anyone else. You've been really walking down this path recently of discovering your gifts more and more, discovering your own abilities for manifestation more and more, to feel as though you are fine to do these things on your own. You do not need another person in order to be happy or to have what you need. Rediscovering yourself, rediscovering your own independence or your own independent gifts, talents, abilities. This feels like, regardless of everything else that's going on, you've definitely been focusing on maintaining a semblance of stability for yourself, where you're still able to enjoy life, still able to eat good food, still able to do the things that you love, that keep you grounded. That's very important to you. So now this, I am definitely picking a clarifier for. This says that this is your best possible outcome. And this is a very cruel, sarcastic, power and control issue type of card. So let me see. Okay, I'm going to have to pick another one now. All right. I can read this in two different ways. One way that I can read this is your best possible outcome, as odd as it sounds, is that the universe has drawn a difficult situation or a difficult person in your life who has not given you what you needed. Perhaps you've got something in your spirit body that's very deeply ingrained, that is a deep core value of yours, that you want to share your life with someone else, or you want someone else to fulfill your needs. And I'm getting needs of comfort, security, and dependableness. I don't even know if that's a word. Dependability. Someone that you felt you need in your life to be your rock or your solid place or your loyalty, safe haven part of your life. And this person perhaps has not turned out to be what you needed or what you felt you needed from another person. Perhaps you feel as though this person has cruelly left you out in the cold, where you're not getting what you thought you would get from this alliance or this partnership or this situation. But as odd as it sounds, this is your best possible outcome, that they did this because it has made you realize that there's some deep-seated part of you that feels as though you need someone else to fill that hole for you, when really you have it in yourself to generate that, have that, and be that all on your own without needing someone else to fulfill that for you. I guess what I'm trying to say here is that being a Taurian person, you are built for things like maintaining, preserving, growing, creating a safe environment, a safe place. Feeling safe is very important to you. Feeling secure is very important to you. And dependability is very important to you. You can generate these things in your life by doing that for yourself. If you have felt as though you need another situation or another person in your life to provide that sense of security to you, something will always happen, or something is happening now to tear that down, because you need to realize that you need to have that within yourself. As hard as that sounds, I know on some level that sounds really cruel, doesn't it? But if you could fill that hole within your own being, you would attract people and situations into your life that naturally fall along those lines. But you don't feel as though you are hungry for something that you don't have, because you already have it within you. That way, if someone does change their mind, or if something does happen to rip that security, external security away, you are not going to feel as though you're falling apart or you can't function anymore without this thing that you've poured all your energy into, or person. But your best possible outcome is to realize you can have what you wish. It may not be in this old form, or it could be in this old form, just a new transformed form. In which case, if it is a relationship and you are renewing the relationship and it needs to transform in order to keep it, you can both do this for each other, or you can do this for yourself. It could also be letting go of it so that you can do this for yourself. And that's the reason why it fell apart in that way, or why you have realized it's not fulfilling you. If it's not a relationship, this is saying your best possible outcome is that you can have what you wish, or you can make happen what you want by avoiding old feelings of trauma over this feeling of dread, that things are doomed, or you won't have enough, or someone will turn on you, or you just won't have what you need. So, in your near future, you have the Eight of Cups. I am definitely going to pick a clarifier for that. Another major arcana, the World. Yeah. Things are changing. There's nothing you can do about it. You have to accept it, and not only accept it, embrace it. Look forward to this. This doesn't mean that your life is over, or that you won't have your solid... I know it's for a Taurus person, this is extremely rough, all of a sudden having your foundation underneath your feet start to move. It's like being in the middle of an earthquake. You know, you guys need terra firma. You guys need firm ground in order to feel secure, because you guys provide that for the world and everybody else around you. But you also need this for yourself, and it feels as though the ground underneath your feet is completely turning, moving, shaking. Your foundation is changing. And obviously this is very unnerving for you, and it's hard for you to let go of the past. I'm looking at the Eight of Cups here. It's hard for you to let go of the past. It's hard for you to let go of all of your emotional investment that you've put into things, and what you've counted on, and what you've depended on. But on some deep level of your soul, you know that this shakeup needs to happen because you have gotten too stagnant. It's time for you to move towards the future. It's time to try new things. It's time to have completely new ideas, new adventures, new experiences. But your safety zone is, it's almost like your safety zone is deliberately being taken away by the universe in order to force you out of that doorway towards your new world. And so I see the next coming near future as being an unsettling time for you. But if you can try your best to embrace this change and to have faith that you're headed in the right direction, or that things are ultimately going to come to a good conclusion or a good outcome of all of this, even though you can't really foresee where things are headed yet, or to embrace this transformation. If it's not about letting go entirely of things from the past, it's definitely about transforming it into a newer, more efficient, more loving form, or a more magical form than before that isn't so stagnant. If you can remain flexible and adaptable and go with these changes, even though it's unsettling, and allow the foundation under your feet to move, perhaps you might find some tricky way of dancing with the changing foundation. Rather than fearing that a crack will open up and swallow you whole, just think of it as jumping from one piece of an iceberg to another. My goodness, you guys. Well, I wish you all the best with that. And just keep in mind, just because things are changing, they're not going to be like this for forever. This is a temporary period. So try your best to keep your good grace, and just keep being your graceful self with this process. Try not to hang on or clutch to anything. Okay, right now, you are the Queen of Wands. This leads me to believe that you need to speak up, or you need to assert yourself. Most definitely. I feel like I'm still getting something in here about you're trying to deal with the fact that you have some emotions of resentment based off of everything that you have put into what you are now having to let go of or transform. And you may have swallowed your own needs for the sake of continuing with this thing that is now changing. And so you may need to assert yourself. Or you may need to get to a place, you are getting to a place now where you are realizing fully your own value and your own needs and your own self more than before. Perhaps you were sacrificing a little bit too much of yourself in the past in order to keep some situations calm or keep them stable. But now it's important for you to honor your own self and to honor your own dreams, needs, wants, and wishes, and to assert yourself. You know, obviously, if you have subdued yourself for the sake of a situation or other people, there's no one to blame for that but yourself. You know, not to say that you should blame yourself. You should really give yourself a break, honestly. But now it's making you realize, okay, I need to do this in the future. I can't keep up with this old pattern of swallowing my own needs or my own will for the sake of peace for other people or stability for other people or other situations. You definitely need to state what you want, what you don't want, and assert yourself in what you deserve. So I am getting, if this does have to do with a relationship or someone, I am getting how this may be a clash of wills. For somebody watching, or a couple of people watching, this is a clash of wills. One of you is more silent than the other. One of you is louder than the other, but both of you are equally strong in your willpower and your own desires. And so you may be clashing, you may be butting heads or clashing with each other. It seems like there's a possibility for power and control issues. Just remember that the Hierophant is your challenge here, and the Hierophant is a counselor, or the Hierophant is a wise guide. And obviously, if you want to heal whatever is going on here, if this does have to do with another person and a clashing of wills or what you both deserve or want, nothing is going to get better as long as you guys are clashing your egos into each other. Just because one of you is overt and the other one is covert doesn't mean that one of you is better than the other, or is in the right more than the other. You may need a mediator, or you may need somebody to step in and communicate with the two of you in order to work out how to best solve this issue or this problem. If this can't be resolved, then it is saying that the situation that you're in right now is you are in the process of grieving and fully realizing on a very deep emotional level that this isn't going to get any better. So it's either make it or break it. It either survives or it doesn't. But your biggest thing here is to not just honor your own needs and honor the need to be respected, but also to approach this with a certain level of humility. And the same thing for other people involved, but you can't really control what other people think, do, say, or feel. The only thing you can really control is your own self. Okay, so in your surroundings, you have the Nine of Wands. This tells me that in your surroundings, you're wrapping up old things. You're trying to wrap up old cycles, old things you've been doing, finally come to a completion with these things so that you can begin something new or start a new path with your surroundings. And again, I am still getting something in here about it's important for you to assert yourself, but not to come off as being too bossy or too strong at this time. You may want to play with the role of asserting yourself, where you're coming off as not comical, but more playful with it, or more sure of yourself, more positive about this wrapping up period. You've accomplished a lot. You've done a lot, especially for your surroundings or in your surroundings. And this is another 9. This is reminding me of your recent past. You've been doing a lot, and you've been coming into your own abilities more and more and more. And you're realizing not only can you cultivate the things that you enjoy in your own life for yourself, but you can also play with the role of being an authority or somebody who is well versed or very knowledgeable in whatever you have been doing. And there's definitely a wrapping up of things. Perhaps you're thinking of moving or changing your surroundings dramatically, in which case you have to wrap up all these old things first, which I see you as doing. So your hope is for peace and for things to get better and to move on onto much more peaceful waters. Continue to keep on listening to your higher self and your wise self within and your intuition. You are being guided. Even though you haven't quite arrived at your new destination or your new world yet, doesn't mean that you're not on your way. You are so on your way, and you are changing. Things are changing. You are moving forward. It's just, if you notice the person in the boat, even though they're moving away from conflict or moving away from a very hard situation, they're not moving away completely embracing the new. There's some grief there. There's some sadness. There's a feeling of that no matter how hard you tried, or no matter how hard this person tried to make things better, they came to a conclusion finally that things weren't going to get better, and they decided to have things get better by going away or by moving on. So this is in the position of your fears and hopes. So I can see this as being both for you. I can see this as being a fear of finally resigning yourself to the fact that things are just not going to get better or continue, and so you must move on. And I can also see how this is a hope that you're on to more peaceful waters, that things are going to get better, that you are going someplace. So your general outcome is the Knight of Pentacles. This makes me feel good when I see this for you. It feels like you need, okay, what I'm getting here is that you are always the solid rock of dependableness for other people. And you're in a vulnerable place right now because of all the changes and changes and healing that are going on right now. And so you may need somebody to be that rock for you, or to help you, or to stabilize you, or just be there for you. You need help. You need someone that you can count on, depend on, and someone who can help you. Someone where you're not doing this on your own, where you don't feel as though you are stuck in this alone. For somebody, this may be a grown child that you have. It could be a son or a daughter, or just somebody who is very dear to you. Perhaps you have always been the person that has been this person's rock, and now that you are in a obviously vulnerable place, this person is more than happy to return the favor for you and be your rock, or at least be your assistance and help that you need. To feel as though you don't need to do this on your own. That aside, this is also slow, steady progress. You know, he is the slowest of all the knights. He's very patient. He's very humble. He's very kind. He is all about hard work and seeing progress and being patient enough to let that progress happen in its own timing. So as your general outcome, this says you are not stuck. You are going someplace. It's just happening kind of slowly. It's kind of a weird analogy here, is like being in the middle of an earthquake that's lasting a really long time, and it's happening slowly. But in the middle of this earthquake that's happening slowly, it's happening for a reason, and things are going to slowly but surely continue to get better and unfold over time. And if you need a solid foundation, you can find this in the form of alliances, friendships, partnerships, and help. So be patient. Not that that's ever been a hard thing for you to be, but definitely getting that you're shouldering a lot and you may not be communicating with people as much as you should. You may need to reach out and admit that you're human and you really just need some support right now, emotional and physical possibly. So this reading is taking a long time, isn't it? Yep. Well, between your two outcomes, your best possible outcome is success and victory, and that you are going someplace. Things are getting better, and you will be successful as long as you let go of this feeling that you need something else in order to fulfill you. And your general outcome is to be patient, be humble, be kind to yourself, and accept help if it's offered, and ask for help if you need it. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, hopefully that helped, or at least made sense. And I wish you all the best, you guys. I love you very much. Stay tuned. Pardon me. Stay tuned. There's a little end thing here to let you know about a few things. So, okay. See you soon. Bye. Hello, everyone. This is just a little end note for you to let you know that as well as being an intuitive, I'm also an artist, and I've just been commissioned to make 30 wind spirits that are sculptures that hang from the ceiling. And so I need to get that done in order to be able to pay my bills and feed my kid and all of that wonderful stuff. So I'm just letting you know I'm putting out all of your general readings for September out all at once, and then I'm going to be finishing this commission and then hopefully getting your bonus readings out by next week at the latest. The good thing about that is that you'll probably be able to see my sculptures behind me when you do get your bonus readings. See if you like my art at all. Also, I wanted some feedback about the bonus videos. I do know that there are people who watch those. I would love to get some feedback on whether or not I should even be including health at the end there. I know that people are interested in the love and relationships and in the career and money. I'm just wondering if doing the health reading at the end is really necessary, or if people are watching those, or if they help in any way. If people are more interested in career and money and relationships, I would rather focus on those two things for you. So if anyone's brave enough to mention to me whether or not you actually watch the health sections, whether they're valuable to you, whether I should cut them out altogether and just focus on the other two. So I love you all, and I'll see you soon. Oh, I also wanted to say that I realize these are still late. Living in such a rural area, it's actually hard. Jobs are hard to come by here, and so I do a lot of odd jobs and things on the side in order to pay my bills, as well as doing readings and art. But I am going to be putting an option down below in the description box in case there's anybody out there that would like to donate to my channel at all. I realize it's kind of early to be asking for that at this point, but it would help me out quite a bit if you have it to give, and if these benefit you in any way and you appreciate these readings. Even if it was $5, I could use anything at this point. Also, I'm also an astrologer, and I have been one professionally for at least 18 years now. I would like to get to a point with prosperity where I can take extra time out in order to possibly put some free courses on this on this channel for astrology, numerology, many other things. I actually read palms. I read astrology charts of all different kinds. I read tarot cards, and I also read tea leaves. So if there's anything about those things that you would like to know about, I've noticed that on YouTube there's not a whole lot available on things like Lilith in your chart, or Eros and Psyche, or any of the asteroids. So if there is anyone out there that would like to see videos about those concepts, donating to the channel would really help me with that. It would give me enough time and space to be able to sit down and knock them out, instead of scrambling around on the side trying to come up with enough. So thank you for patiently listening to me ramble, and I will see you soon with your bonus readings. For now, hopefully this will suffice. And next time I see you, you'll see some wind spirits. Okay, take care. I love you guys. Bye.